Hi everyone, welcome to Verbling. I'm Kate, I'm an English teacher here, and today's class is for intermediate learners. Essentially, today's class is really focused on speaking. Um, the idea is to get some conversation practice in a natural setting. So it's almost like a conversation mixer. So we'll be practicing, real life scenarios, things like that. And the idea of this class is for you to have a forum or a place to practice some of the things that you've learned in other Verbling classes, right? So maybe, if there's some sort of grammar point that you think you understand but you're not sure, or a new vocabulary word, or really anything you want to try out, a phrasal verb maybe, that you still feel a little uncomfortable with, this class is a great place to try out those things. Okay, so I think we're still waiting on some students, but I'll welcome the students here. Hi, Ali.
Hi, Kathleen.
How are you?
I am fine, thank you. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. And hello, Anna.
Hello, Kathleen.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Okay.
And Anna, remind me where you're calling from? Are you from Spain?
Yes, I'm from Spain.
Okay, cool. Nice to have you back.
Thank you.
And hi, Rafael.
Hi, Kate.
How are you?
Okay, thanks for asking you.
I'm doing well, thanks. Okay. So let's see. Hello, Ivan. I'm not sure he can hear me. Ivan?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, fine, thanks. And you? Thank you for asking me.
I'm doing well, thanks. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Italy, and you?
From Italy. Okay, I'm from the U.S.
And from, sorry?
The United States.
The United States. Yeah, it's very good.
All right, nice to have you here. And hi, Allah. Allah?
Hello, teacher. How are
Hi,
you?
good, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Okay, great. So I think a few of you have done a class like this with me before. But again, the idea is really just sort of natural, casual conversation practice. So really working on your fluency and taking some risks, trying out some things that maybe you're not totally comfortable with, and I'm here to give you feedback and answer any questions you might have, right? So if you want to try to use a new structure or word or whatever and say, Kate, is that right? I can give you some helpful feedback, hopefully. Okay. And hi, Daniel. Daniel, are you there? Okay, not sure, but welcome. All right, so what I want everyone to do to begin is I want you to think of just a few, let's say 2 or 3 questions that you would like to ask the class, right? So some questions that you think would lead to a good, interesting discussion, okay? And I haven't done this in the past. This is sort of an experiment. So we can talk about things that you're really interested in. So the first thing I want you to do is think of 2 or 3 questions that you would like to ask the class, and they should be questions that will lead to discussion. Okay, so I'll give you a few minutes now to do that. And Saku, are you there? Okay, I'm not sure. All right, so work on the questions.
Hello?
Hi. Was that Daniel?
Yes,
Hi, how are you?
fine, thank you.
Good. Did you hear my instructions from before?
More or less, but I
More.
can't hear anyone.
Okay, because I think hopefully people are writing or thinking. I asked everyone to think of 2 or 3 questions that to ask to the group that will hopefully lead to some good discussion, right?
Okay.
So things that so instead of me introducing topics, I want you all to be speaking about things that are interesting to you.
Okay.
Okay, great. All right. So, okay, I think a few minutes have passed. So you can keep thinking of these questions, but hopefully at least a few of you have some sort of ideas, things you'd like to speak about. So who would like to start off our discussion today with a question for the class?
Shall I start?
Go ahead, Anna.
Okay, I would like to know, I don't know if my classmates today are on holidays or not, but I would like to know what is the best way to you to spend your holidays.
Good question. Okay, and I should have said this before. Feel free to just speak whenever, right? And engage with your classmates, ask questions, participate a lot. The one thing I ask is that you try not to interrupt one another. Okay. So Anna's had a great question. What's your favorite way to spend your holidays?
My daily goal on vacation is wake up 9 o'clock and take my children and go to the beach all morning and then come back to home and eating lunch, having a nap, then again to the beach all afternoon to see the sunshine, no, the sunset, and then have dinner, take a shower, going for a walk in a little village, and 7 days, every day the same for me. Enjoy
Sounds
the
pretty nice.
children.
Okay, class, any comments, questions for Daniel, or responses? Feel free to participate whenever.
Mhm. For me, the best way on holiday, I like to go different places, maybe different countries or different cities. I like to learn uh, about new cultures, different people, and different places. I want to be active as much as I can do. I don't like to stay at a place during my holiday, something like that.
You don't like to stay in one place, you like to move around.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, and so Johanna, are you there?
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so just to fill you in, today's class is sort of casual conversation, right? I've asked the class to think of some questions to ask that they think would lead to good discussion, right? And you can feel free to participate whenever, and try out some new things you've learned in classes, anything like that. And so Anna just asked an interesting question. Anna, can you repeat your question for Johanna?
Yes, I said, what is the best way to you to spend your holidays?
Okay, so we're talking about that. And Ali was just saying that he likes to travel. He can't stay in one place.
I like to travel to around Colombia. I am from Colombia, and I like to travel to visit my friends. I like to visit parks or go to eat on the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I like to spend my time with my husband.
Good.
Okay.
Great. Good. Okay, so, and again, class, feel free to jump in, ask people questions, respond just as you would in a casual conversation, right? Don't wait for me to guide you. And you can also feel free to ask one of your questions, right, if you'd like to move on to another topic. So would anyone like to ask another question or respond to this?
What is the museum you like to visit?
Sorry, can you repeat it?
What are the museums you like to visit?
Good question. So what museums do you like to visit?
Okay, I live in Italy, and in Italy I love museum because it's a very historical country. And for example, is the Uffizi is in Florence. It's very particular because there is a lot of monument and the statue. For example, David of Donatello. Sorry, it's very beautiful. And in a room, a lot of museum, a lot of picture, not correct picture, but I don't remember. Yeah, correct. For example, by Michelangelo or Leonardo or other famous artists to live in Italy or original in Italy. It's very beautiful museum. For example, I like really it's very amazing. It's very amazing museum is the Museum of Vaticano. It's a very beautiful museum.
Yeah, I would imagine living in Italy, there's no lack of museums, right? There's so much art, so much history, so much culture.
Absolutely, Rome is very point of center. The historical, for example, not only museum but the Colosseum or Fontana Trevi or other typical museum historical by Imperium Roman.
And do you live in Rome?
Unfortunately, no, I lived in Milan.
You live in Milan.
Unfortunately, lived in Milan because there is a lot of traffic. Yeah.
Good. Okay, great.
Well, I enjoy visiting different kind of museums, but mainly archaeological museums. But in the opposite, I also enjoy science museums, which are very interactive, and you can touch and experiment different aspects of science. And I also enjoy popular culture. So there are some museums which show the popular culture in different communities. So I also enjoy that.
Interesting. So you like you like to experience science and things like that. And you like to interact with museums.
Yes.
Cool.
Maybe when I retire, I would like to go to visit museum, but now with 2 children, it's difficult to go to a museum. I'd rather to go to beach or park.
You'd rather go to the beach?
Maybe to the mountains for walking.
So you like to be outdoors more?
Yeah. Sorry?
You like to be outdoors?
Yeah. You need to have tired your children. it's the daily mission.
And it's hard to take children to museums for a long time.
Yes.
Daniel, I agree with you that maybe some kind of museums are a little bit boring to children, but other ones are very interesting and they can learn a lot. Maybe not for not too many hours or too much time, but for a few time they can enjoy and learn a lot, especially these ones I said about the sciences, that these kind of museums used to have special rooms for children where they can enjoy experimenting and touching many things, and I think it's a nice place to children too.
Sound interesting. Maybe to go to a zoo or kind of. It's for my children have 4 and 1 years old, and maybe a zoo or something about it. They would enjoy more. Maybe with 6, 7 years old, they could understand the art museum or nature museum, archaeological museum, history.
When they're a little bit older.
In the future, maybe.
And remember, it's when my children are 6 or 7, right? Not have.
Sorry. Yes.
No, just a reminder.
When my children are.
Good.
In Colombia exists the Museum for Children's, Museum of the Children's. Very interesting and dedicated for children. Is fantastic. It's very funny. And in Colombia, I like the museums about history, about Francisco de Paula Santander or Simón Bolívar. Of the museum more famous is the Gold Museum.
The most famous museum.
Yes, it's about the gold, emeralds. Very, very beautiful.
Cool. Okay, class. And remember, feel free to comment, or if you think, I don't like this topic, it's boring, feel free to ask another question.
I want to launch a question for everyone. Who is the best way to improve English? mm, without Berlin?
Good question. Okay. So, good. That's a great question, Daniel, because obviously the one thing that you all have in common is you're learning English on Verbling, right? So, good question. So, what's the best way to improve your English, do you think, apart from, beyond Verbling?
Apart from, okay.
Or you could, no, what you said was fine, without Verbling.
Okay.
It's fine.
Maybe I have a lot of time to study English, and I would like to do another things.
Yeah, some other things.
Maybe someone would like to share his sources.
Yeah, good.
In my opinion, an important thing is to learn a lot of vocabulary, because sometimes you want to say anything and you don't find the exact words, so you get stopped and you can't continue. So I think it's very important to learn new words every day, and the correct pronunciation, because it's very complicated, the English language, because you can say another different thing if you don't pronounce correctly. It's my case in many situations. So I think the most important thing is to learn new words, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's absolutely something you can do on your own, right? Is studying vocabulary with flashcards. That's a really effective way to learn languages, using flashcards. Other thoughts, comments?
I think the same of that Catholic. I think we need to learn or forget the verb to speak to for communicate fluently
Mm-hmm.
and learn a new vocabulary every day.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Many times the problem is, at least in my case, that when you learn vocabulary, at the moment you remember, but later you don't know. So I think you must use this vocabulary and find the opportunity to practicing these new words.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's complicated, because without this website, which is wonderful, at least in my town, I don't have enough opportunities to speak in English with other people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's complicated, but maybe listening to English from different sources, the broadcast channel or podcast or things like that. And of course, I think that reading a lot.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Right. Now I
have another tip.
Sorry, hold on one second. I think, Johanna, Daniel was saying something, and then you can go.
Now I'm trying to watch movies in English with subtitles in English too.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good way.
But at the end of the film, I have a big headache. But it's hard. But in the end, at the end, I find out a lot of new words or idioms, expressions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because in the night I don't feel like to study English or Berlin, because usually I'm tired, but it's a good way to keep on improving. English.
Yeah, it's kind of a more casual way to pick up some especially colloquial things, right? Things that you might necessarily not learn in the classroom, right? Things that people actually say. Any other thoughts on this topic?
Anyway, I think that the most important thing is to get motivated to learn, because you have to want to do it, not is as an obligation. I think you learn faster if you are motivated. It's a personal goal or thing like that.
Yeah. It seems like, Raphael, you agree with that, right? You said something similar in the chat.
Exactly.
Daniel,
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think the important thing Daniel want to. I think he want to know another website online to study English, and I have some advice for you. For example, you want to learn business English, you can go website EnglishBusiness.com. I think it's a great website.
What's it called?
It's BusinessEnglishPod.com.
Business English. Okay.
BusinessEnglishPod.com. Yes, it has many situations and listening program to study, and maybe you can join EnglishTown.com. I think it's a great website to English. And have you ever heard English method affiliate English by Lazy Ho?
No, I haven't. Is that's another good resource?
Yes, some resource internet. I think.
Very nice.
It's okay.
Good. Yeah. So you have a lot of resources online.
Effortless English said that you haven't to study grammar. What do you think about that? They say that it's better to listen to speaker English and learn in a conversational ways, such as today we are doing, but they don't think we have to study grammar. What do you think about that?
Good question. Did everyone hear her question? I think that's interesting. It's a question that teachers ask a lot as well, right? So, so how much should we be focusing on grammar skills and teaching, the basics that you need to communicate effectively, versus how much should we be focusing on fluency? And I think in schools, you learn mostly grammar. I don't know. What do you think, class?
Yes, I think so. For example, I studied English for many years when I was
on your course.
Go ahead, Ali.
Okay. It depends on your purpose or your goal, why you want to learn English. If you learn English, you have some exams, something like that. You have to learn grammar because you have a lot of exams maybe and tests, so something like that. If you want to communicate with people in English, I think it's important to make practice with native speakers.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best way.
So you
To
think
learn
that sort of
English.
you're on the side that speaking and practicing in real situations is the best way.
Yeah.
Okay. And Saku, what were you saying?
I just agree with Ali, but it's depends on your purpose. For example, if you wanna, as he mentioned, for me, I have I school learn grammar a lot, but I can.
Sorry, you cut out
I
for a
think
second
grammar.
there. Can you say that again? You said for me.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Sorry, I think I have a technical problem.
Ah, okay. Can you say that again?
Now I want to say, if you study grammar, I think we can to be fluent in English because we don't have opportunity to speak to improve speaking skill.
Mhm.
Yes. For example, I have studied English for many years in school, in high school, in at university, but I speak English very well because I think the important reason I focus on study grammar. We can I can have opportunity to speak in English, especially speaking English with native speaker, and I think that's why I can speak English quickly, and
Good.
that's why I'm be here to I try to speak a lot.
Good. Yeah, I think that's a great point, right? That's something I noticed a lot when I was working in a school, that the English teachers, the focus in the English department for, this was in a middle school, was copying sentences for an hour, right? Only doing grammar. And then when I tried to ask students questions, basic questions, they just were not used to really practicing speaking English. It was a big problem that I noticed. Kind of like what Saku was saying.
I think for to learn grammar, we need to read many books in English.
Do you like to read?
I think it is a good tip for learn grammar.
I think you need to read, to listening to speak, all of them.
Yeah, you need to do everything.
Yes, because I was studying English myself for 2 years and a half, only reading and listening to in an English course online, but I didn't talk to anything, and at the end of in Berlin I couldn't speak properly,
Mhm.
because I think you need difficult situation. I need to be nervous
Mhm.
for improve, for speak a lot.
Yeah, good. You need to sort of take a risk and be put into a situation where you're a little
Yes,
bit uncomfortable.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's a lot of what learning a second language is kind of not being afraid to make mistakes, right?
The best way is making mistakes to improve.
Absolutely. I think that's definitely true.
According to a teacher I had,
Hmm.
you need to make a lot of mistakes.
That's how you learn. I agree
Speaking,
with that completely.
writing, and then you realize the right way, the right answer, or the right grammar.
Hmm. Good. Yeah, any other comments on this?
Do you sometimes see a previous class? It's a question for class. I was I was watching my first and second class in Berlin. It was funny, fun.
Ah, okay, so you're asking if people watch old classes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ah, okay, that's funny. So you like that's interesting because some teachers, I had some language teachers that would record us at the beginning of the class, and then we would have to listen to it at the very end of the class, and it was cool because we could see how much we improved, but it was also like so horrible and embarrassing to hear how badly we spoke at the beginning, right?
You 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 do your first and second class. You are improving your performance
Uh-huh.
in Berlin.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember. I can remember you.
Ah, you remember
Te-
me.
Yes, teaching your first
Okay.
class. I think
So this is something for teachers as well.
you are very serious. You were very serious.
I was very serious.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to go back and watch
Very
them.
professional.
And now I'm not professional?
Yes, yes, but more funny classes.
More laid back, you could say.
Laid back.
More casual. Well, I know
Yes,
you
yes.
all now. I know a lot of you now. I see Ali almost every day. And I see Daniel a lot and Raphael. So I feel comfortable with you now. But yeah, that's an interesting question. Has anyone tried that? Has anyone gone back and watched their old Verbling classes?
I also did it
Yeah.
at the beginning, and it was disappointing to realize how bad can I say what I want to say. In my mind, it's very clear that I can't say in the correct way, but on the other hand, I think it's also interesting because I can also realize my mistakes. So in pronunciation or in tenses, verb tenses, and things like that, and later I can study these aspects of my mistakes.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it can be one of the best ways to improve your pronunciation as well. Actually hearing yourself and saying, "Oh wow, I thought, this is what I thought I sounded like, but it's actually really different."
Yeah, before I get as a member of Verbling, I used to record my voice and compare with what I was listening to And some teachers say that it's a good way to improve the pronunciation. What do you think?
Yeah, good question. What do you think about that?
Repeating again and again.
You have to repeat things again and again.
Yes. There are a lot of programs you can record your voice and then listening to yourself. No?
It's true, yeah.
Like, tell me more. Tell me more.
Repeat and listen the word many times.
Yes.
The best way to learn pronunciation.
Or talking to someone, to an English speaker, and he could understand you.
And I want to point out in the Verbling box, Sheila said, you have to cut yourself some slack. I don't even like listening to myself in my native language. And I totally agree with this, right? This is a good expression, first of all. To cut yourself some slack means to not be so hard on yourself, right? You need to not be so hard on yourself. And I feel the same way. I don't like to hear my voice. You know, if you call someone and if you hear like a message that you've left on someone's voicemail on their phone, you're like, that doesn't sound like me, right? So I agree. I don't even like to hear myself in my native language. So, so I think that's a good point, Sheila. Sorry, my phone's ringing here. Okay, so yeah, any other comments on this or new questions?
A question. What do you think about the new sick Ebola from Africa? Are you afraid?
Good question.
It's a difficult question. I am afraid about Ebola.
You said you are afraid of Ebola.
You can repeat me, please?
Yes.
So you said that, Johanna, you said yes, you're afraid of Ebola?
Yes.
Yes, me too.
I think everyone afraid of Ebola. Very dangerous illness, I think. I don't know about that. I don't have too much information about that, but it's, I think, very common in Africa, and it's dangerous illness.
Yeah, well, I think over 1,000 people in Africa have died, right? Already?
Yes, many people died in Africa. I hope that can find a vaccine.
A vaccine. Vaccine? It's short for vaccination.
Okay. And for this disease.
And do you all think that this will become, so some people are saying that this will be a worldwide epidemic. Do you think this is true?
No, because it's a virus comes from animals, and suddenly it infects to human. It's I read it's difficult to to become in a run war epidemic is difficult because the virus needs a lot of days to affect the person, and this time the doctors could find you're infected. But maybe in Africa is too difficult to control. But in first world, in my country or your country, would be difficult. This epidemic, I think.
I think yes. I think Corona can be spread, and maybe it could be a pandemic, because I think the health system in Africa is not good, and I think some government can control the disease, and I think it can be dangerous, and I hope this cannot spread all over the world.
In my opinion, although this virus can't spread all over the world, it's a big question. I don't know, but nowadays it's a big problem in Africa, and many people are dying. And the big problem is that there is no treatment. But I'm not sure that it's impossible to spread all over the world, because there are a lot of people who go to other countries, immigrants, and there is a few control or in them. So we can feel a little bit feared.
It's a good point, yeah. And you know, you were saying there's no cure for it, but I know at least they're trying to work on a cure, right? They brought 2 people back to the United States who had become infected, and they're treating them, and they've gotten better. And then that led to this problem of, well, people in Africa were saying, well, why didn't they give us this medicine, right? If there's a medicine for this.
It's not treatment right now, but exists many labs who in September or to October going to test a new treatment in humans.
Yeah, some experimental treatments. Good. Any other comments on this? If someone would like to ask a new question, that's fine too.
Some of you take some exams of your English levels, such as the Cambridge or TOEFL or some of them?
Yeah, good question. Have any of you taken taken the English exams, so like the Cambridge exams, the TOEFL, the IELTS, the CAT, the PET, anything?
I would like to do IELTS level, maybe at the end of the year, because you can improve your resume.
Your resume?
Your resume, yes. In your English level, if you write you have IELTS level 7, it's a good way to get a job
Mhm.
in Europe.
Yeah, it's the same in my country. People want to impress the employer at the recruiter. You need have to pass some exam.
Mhm. So more and more jobs are requiring these exams on your resumes.
Yes,
Mhm. And does anyone
I
have?
think it's
Go ahead.
now I want to say some situation is first it's first thing the recruiter want to see in your resume, and
Mhm.
especially for foreign company.
Mhm. And where are you from, Saku?
I'm from Vietnam.
From Vietnam. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone have any experience taking these tests or preparing for them? As Saku and Daniel were saying, are they something that are becoming more and more important for getting a good job in your country?
Now I'm preparing to take maybe in September for the first certificate. It's only for measuring my level. I have a full part job, and I don't need apply for new jobs, but it's I want to do it. I don't know if it's a good option. I'll do it in September.
Mhm. Okay, so you want to do it just to sort of confirm your level. You have a full-time job and it's not really for employment.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Some of these titles uh, only are for 2 years.
Oh, really? They only last for 2 years?
Yes. IELTS, you have to do another exams if 2 years.
Mhm. I think the Cambridge ones last for longer, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Cambridge, yes, but IELTS, no.
Mhm.
It's only a level, an English level.
Mhm.
You pay for night.
I have a question for everyone. So you're all Verbling students, and I'm sure you see some of the same people in your classes sometimes, especially for those of you who have been using Verbling for a long time. Have you sort of made any friends through Verbling classes? Has anyone, um, felt like they're making friends from around the world through Verbling? Just curious.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yes.
Ali, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
I have 2 or 3 friends from Weblink. Sometimes we are chatting or we are speaking on Facebook or on Hangout.
Cool, yeah, because you've been using Verbling for a while, right? How long have you been using it?
I think it's about 9 months.
About 9 months. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And they're people you see over and over again in classes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Have you ever taken part of any community of Verbling? Do you know how it works?
Why don't you tell the class how that works?
You mean community groups?
Yes.
Yes, I participate maybe several times, but I don't like it.
You don't like them? Why not?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, and many people join and quit. You can't understand anything.
Really? And
Yeah.
so these are sort of open discussions, right?
And the real level is fake.
So not big fans of these, I see.
No.
Okay. And
I was once in beginner, and people talk very fast.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
That's a
couldn't
problem.
understand.
Yeah, absolutely. So people speaking over each other, interrupting, things like that.
Yes.
Okay. And so go ahead.
People don't listen you. Maybe there is, for example, 6, 7 person in a group.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 of them speak to each other, something like that.
Right. It has to be more inclusive. Yeah, it's something that I think should be improved. It's something to work on. Anyway, I'm going to have to end our conversation here since we're about out of time. But I wanted to say thank you all for participating. You've been a really good class. I like to hear, I like to learn more about you and to hear your feedback and to get to know all of you in a more casual setting. So this has been a pleasure for me. I hope this was helpful for you. And I hope to see all of you soon in another class. Okay? So have a great day, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.